Hello, welcome to Dr. Morgan's Counseling Session, a horror visual novel developed by Jordan, available on itch.io. And well, it's about your new counselor who's totally normal. Don't worry about it. I guess a little content warning though, this is a horror game, so it may contain some disturbing elements. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's begin. Next. You snap out of your daze. Ah, right, counseling. You step forward to the receptionist, wallet in one hand. Plastic insurance card lies between your index and thumb as you dart your eyes around, avoiding eye contact. Name? What is my name? Guess I'll just put my handle name, SighingSlider. SighingSlider. Checking in, you say hesitantly as you slide the card out and slide it across the counter. The reception lets out a huff, or is it a sigh? No, that's me, SighingSlider, and takes the card. The keyboard clicked loudly as they typed your information in. Your hands get your debit card ready for the copay. You rehearse the words you'd say when asked for payment, the exact movements you make, the PIN number you type after, and it's relatable. You gotta make sure if you're okay. Where's the credit card machine? How am I gonna take out the credit card? You gotta practice. Just like drawing your sword, like Iaijutsu. The same way, taking out your credit card from your wallet, or whatever. All right, you're all checked in. What? You looked up as your insurance card is handed back to you. You fumble with your wallet as you put your insurance card back into its slot. You nervously shuffle your feet, waiting for the receptionist to ask for you to pay for your visit, but they'll call you up when you're ready. Is there anything else I can help you with? Despite the words, they're not even turned towards you, sorting through files instead. No, it's nothing. I thought this was America. I thought this was America. We'll have to pay for it. Because it turns out it's covered? That's crazy. Now, you duck your head down and turn to find a seat in the waiting area with your debit card still pinched between your fingers. Actually, when I think about it, in Canada, this is apparently a counseling session. So I'm assuming like a psychiatrist or something like that. I don't think that's covered in Canada. It might depend on your province. I don't know. I don't think like mental health stuff in general is covered. You do have to pay that out of pocket, or with insurance, I guess. But why have they asked you to pay like always? A pit began to form in your stomach as you sat down. Fidgeting with your debit card, you ultimately decide to put it away and pocket your wallet. It's entirely possible that your insurance just covered the visit in its entirety, right? However, despite being a frequent visitor here for over a year, this has never happened. Not once. The time went by as you rested your hands on your knees, taking in the details of the ceiling. After a restless silence, the doors of the offices opened. SighingSlider? That's me. The voice is unfamiliar, causing you to hesitate for a moment. That isn't my counselor. You look around nervously, your gaze falling on the receptionist from earlier. They catch your eye and raise an eyebrow before going back to their paperwork. Anxiety starts to gnaw at you as you tighten your grip on your knees. Arms weak. Mom's spaghetti. I'm gonna save the game. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. That's right, Even though the receptionist doesn't care, and then, it's just say, hey, I'm your counselor, and it's like, no, I leave, I run away. I run away from the horrors of society. This is way too much. You decide to leave and reschedule your counseling session. Getting up, you walk through the doors into the parking lot. You can't shake the feeling of being watched as you unlock your car. I simply just awkwardly leave without saying anything. It's like, it's like the doctor is like calling for you. Hey, it's your turn, and you just stand up and just walk away. Just power walk away. Goosebumps rise along the nape of your neck once you lock your car. Did you lock the doors before leaving? Was someone waiting in the back to kill you? Paranoia gets the better of you and you check the back seats, just in case. Nothing's there. Of course there's nothing there. You locked the doors when you left your car. No one could have gone in without smashing a window or something. You start the engine and begin to drive out of the parking lot. As you pass by the entrance of the office, you spot a man smiling at you in the window. A chill runs down your spine. He smiles as he watches you leave. You quickly look away, focusing on driving. Your grip on the driving wheel tightens. You feel sick. The pit in your stomach had only grown, anxiety and paranoia clawing your insides, wanting to escape. You could feel bile rising in your throat, but you kept it in. It seems your counseling will have to wait another day. Okay. I just feel like we just have an anxiety disorder or something, which is very, very ironically, despite, scheduling your counseling session to probably help with that, instead, you simply just leave. Ending 1. Reschedule your appointment, just reschedule it. We'll go on another day, that's all. Alright. So, we're back in the office. Maybe we shouldn't listen to our monkey brain, telling us to leave. Sometimes the human body is simply wrong. Right? So let's just enter. SighingSlider, you hear? The door opens a little wider. You get up and walk over, entering the office. Yes, I'm here. You're greeted by a man with blonde hair and lively brown eyes. Oh, splendid. Right this way. He leads you down the hallway. It's an uncomfortably long walk with a couple of turns and down some stairs. You had no idea the office building was so big. You never had to venture this far in before. The man walked with a brisk pace, occasionally looking over his shoulder with a smile to make sure you were keeping up. His pace, as well as the distance you were walking, started to tire you out a bit, so he slowed down and walked next to you. How are you doing today? The question made you jump a bit. I'm okay. You weren't sure of the answer yourself. He picked up on your tone, nodding. The silence that settled between you two felt awkward. Eventually, you both stopped at the door. The unfamiliar man took up some keys and thumbed through them, looking for the right key to unlock the door. You took this time to look at the door. Strangely enough, it didn't have a nameplate like all the others. It was blank where the name should be, as if the writing has been recently rubbed or cleaned off. Ah, there we go. His voice snaps you out of your observations. He's holding the door open, waiting for you. The room is dark. The pit in your stomach grows, anxiety gnawing as you step into the room. Light withdrawals as he closes the door. This is totally safe, don't worry about it. The air is cold, setting a chill down your spine as you squint to try and make sense of your surroundings. Oh, I forgot to turn the lights on. How silly of me, he says with a feather-light laugh. His voice echoes around the room. Suddenly, light floods the room. What the? The room was almost entirely empty, save for a plastic table and some metal chairs. Concrete walls and pillars surrounded you, metal pipes running along the ceiling. It seems like this room is unfinished. You were definitely underground somewhere. This was most certainly not your counselor's office. How did we end up underground? I guess we did go down. I think it was mentioned we went down some stairs. Anyway. Before you can say anything, the man walks in front of you, fidgeting slightly. He seemed a bit embarrassed. A slight blush dusted his cheeks as he shyly avoided eye contact. Sorry, my budget isn't big enough to furnish my office, he says sheepishly, guiding you to the table. Your budget is the least of my worries now. Wait, sorry, this isn't my, you say, stepping away from the man. He gives you a puzzled look before smiling again. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself yet. I'm Oliver Morgan, 26 years old. Though, since you're my patient, that'll be Dr. Morgan. Morgan is just fine, though, he says, reaching out to shake your hand. You pull away, holding your hand close to you. No, that's not what I was going to say. You aren't my usual therapist. I think there was a mistake. I have to go. Now you're saying this? The smile falls from his face, though his eyes still have a glint to them. I feel like, I don't know. Is it normal for eyes to be, they're anime eyes, but I feel like they're a little bit too close to the center. It makes it feel like he's cross-eyed. Anyway. You turn your back on him and towards the door. You begin to turn the handle, except... What? You jiggle the handle. Again and again, it doesn't turn. Why isn't it just locked? Did you lock the door? You turn around to look at him. Morgan is uncomfortably close, standing 2 or 3 feet away, leaning forward. His face was a few inches away from yours as he boxed you into one of his arms. A calm smile was still plastered on his face, though it seems like his expression was starting to falter. SighingSlider, come on. Just take a seat and we can. He reaches for you again. Save the game. And I freaking punch him in the face. Give him all the 1-2. You push him away before winding your arm back and sucker punching him right in the face. Morgan falls to the floor with a thud. Well, that was easy. Good thing I'm like a professional boxer. Kneeling down, you shove your hand into his pockets, grabbing the keys. Turning back towards the door, you go through the keys and try them one by one. With each passing moment, you feel your heart rate pick up. Why are there so many damn keys? The one you want is the one with blue rhinestones. Oh, thanks. Hey, what? You turn around and Morgan is standing up, rubbing the side of his head. Ah, that hurt. I didn't think you could punch so hard, he murmurs before smiling at you. You put the key between your fingers as sort of a key knuckle weapon. Morgan stares at you, tilting his head. It's not really a good weapon, to be honest, but... Let me go. Let me leave. You can't stop your voice from shaking. Morgan takes a step forward. You lunge at him, aiming for his stomach. He grabs your arm with ease, yanking you down. The momentum sends you hurling into the door. You groan, trying to straighten yourself up. The grip you had on the keys loosen. The key sitting loosely in your palm now. Morgan kneels down, taking the keys off your hands and putting them back into his pocket. Now then, where were we? He says with a smile. You sit up, looking at him fearfully disoriented. Morgan reaches a hand out for you to take. Left with no other option, you take his hand. He helps you stand up and steady yourself, his other hand hovering in the small of your back. Morgan gently takes your hand and leads you to the table, seating you in an uncomfortable metal chair. Just punch him again. Just never give up. Never give up. Just keep punching. No. He sits across from you, a small clipboard and a file set on the side of the table. Morgan takes a second to grab something from under his seat and rubs it on his face. When he turns to face you again, the injury you left him is mostly gone. Okay, just an excuse to so you don't have to see him with this bruise the entire time. You nervously stare at him as he organizes the table. Morgan notices your stare. He blushes a little, before coughing and grabbing a file. So, anxiety, huh? He says, flipping through the file. Is he seriously going to try and be your counselor? Is this guy even licensed? Yeah, he's 26 years old. I mean, I don't know. Yes, I'm not sure how long it takes to be a licensed psychiatrist. Guess it's possible. I'm not sure. Anyway. So tell me about it. What makes you so anxious? Is it the fact that I, trapped you in here? You give him an incredulous look. What's making me anxious is that there's a guy pretending to be my counselor who's not letting me leave. Morgan just smiles and sets down the folder, clasping his hands together. I can see that you're hesitant to trust me, he begins, carefully choosing his words. But all I want is what's best for you. I want to help you. His tone is earnest as he speaks. You grit your teeth, crossing your arms and furrowing your brows to try and seem intimidating. How can I trust you? I don't even know who you are. I come here expecting my usual counselor, and then you show up, lead me to... What is this, a parking garage? It's my office, he corrects you. Yeah, your office, that's under the building, is surrounded by concrete walls. I told you. They didn't give me much of a budget, he mumbles. Whatever this place is, you bring me in here and lock the door like a maniac. Morgan frowns a little bit, playing with the edge of the paper on the clipboard. It looks like he had nothing to say to that. What's even that file you have? You ask, reaching out. Morgan pulls the file away, holding it out of reach. It's your information. I'm your counselor now, so... Daga. Kotowaru. Like hell you are. Give me it. You stand up and try to grab the file again. You catch the edge of the file, pulling it towards you. The contents come out loose and spill onto the table. Pictures of you scatter on the table. They're all small Polaroids, each labeled with a date and description of the face or expression you were making. What the hell is this? You say, picking one up. You look up at Morgan, who's staring impassively at you. The glint in his eyes have vanished. Pictures of you, obviously. But don't touch them so carelessly, he adds, reaching to his pocket. You back away fearfully, dropping the photo. Morgan simply takes out a pair of gloves, slipping them on. He picks the photos up carefully, organizing them and placing them back into the file. He's just a collector. Man. Once we're back where they belong, Morgan sighed, running a gloved hand through his hair. My My head hurts, he groans quietly. He looks tired. You could probably knock him out this time. Looks like I have to go with plan B, he says, reaching under his seat. Plan B? Your chest tightened with anxiety as you backed away from the table. Yep, honestly. We could have done this the easy way, but what a shame. Okay. Morgan walks around the edge of the table, fastening a mask to his face. Cloth hangs out of his pocket. Now then, hold still, will you? He says, taking the cloth in one hand before lunging for you. He's on top of you in an instant, your hand gripping his wrist, keeping the cloth away from your face, a slightly sweet smell wafted towards you. You can't read Morgan's expression, but his eyes darken at your resistance. He wasn't expecting you to struggle this much. Managing to push him off, you crawl towards the door to try and get away from Morgan. A hand grips your ankle, yanking you backwards. Let me go! You shriek, kicking him in the face as hard as you can. Morgan lets out a grunt when you kick him square in the face. His grip on your ankle loosening, you quickly pull away and stand up. Not wasting this chance, you tack him to the floor, grabbing the cloth and shove it under his mask. Aha! How the tables have turned. He shoves you off of him, standing up and ripping the mask off. Morgan seems dazed as he staggers, holding himself up with the table. Whatever he put on his face earlier wore off, exposing his injuries. That seriously hurt, he mumbles before collapsing. Hopefully for good this time. You approach him, checking to make sure he was actually knocked out this time. Morgan was definitely knocked out. Grabbing the keys, you find the key with blue rhinestones and unlock the door. You run out, finding the exit as fast as you could. You run past the receptionist, who gives you a questioning look as they leave. You're bad at your job, receptionist. You couldn't stop like some random guy kidnapping me, but anyway. Quickly spotting your car, you unlock and jump in, making sure to lock the door. Turning the engine on, you grip the steering wheel tightly as you sped out of the parking lot and away from the office. And then the cop stops you because you're speeding. Ending 3, escaped counseling. We did it. All right. We simply just punched them a lot. Good. All right. So we're back over here. What if we just stay still this time? What if we don't punch him in the face? Even though I really want to. Morgan gently takes your hand, leads you to the table, seating you in an uncomfortable metal chair. Okay, so we're back here. So this is slightly different. So this is when you try to escape from him again, but you did not punch him in the beginning. So Morgan lets out a grunt when you kick him, but his grip remains tight as he drops his full weight on your back, pinning you down. Shush, he whispers, pressing the cloth to your nose and mouth. You try to hold your breath, thrashing and struggling to get him off of you, but it's futile. Eventually, it feels like your lungs will burst. You inhale the sweet sound of the cloth, feeling a slight headache and dizziness as sleep overtakes you. Ending 4. You need more counseling. Alright, so that's what happens if you don't punch him enough. So more of the story, just punch people all the time. No, alright. So why don't we just simply accept Morgan as our new counselor? He's just very eager to help us, that's all. You sigh, letting your arms fall to your sides. You're too tired to argue anymore. You know what, sure, you're my counselor for the day. Whatever. Morgan's face immediately lights up at your words, his smile returning. I'm glad you've accepted me. That makes me really happy. Do you have to say it in such a creepy way? Morgan clears his throat, his gaze suddenly serious despite his smile. Well, let's begin, shall we? He says, leaning forward a little. What's been bothering you? You gulp. You still felt a little hesitant to tell the stranger your problems. It had taken you a while to truly open it up to your usual counselor as well. Hopefully Morgan wouldn't be too upset if you end up climbing up. Well... A sigh escapes you as you lean back into your chair. You explain the surface issues of your anxiety. Morgan had listened intently, occasionally jotting down notes and offering surprisingly insightful advice every now and then. He was truly kind and understanding. It was like he knew you for a long time. You don't say. Actually, now that I think about it, had you seen him somewhere before? Dr. Morgan, you begin, but his mumbling cuts you off. I see. So that's how it is. He murmurs, his eyes scanning the notes he took. You shifted uncomfortably in your seat as he took a moment to read over his papers. Even though he was careful, or rather caring and helpful, this was as much you were willing to tell him for now. I feel there's still some things you're keeping from me, but... Your hands nervously play with the hem of your clothes as he speaks. It looks like our time is up, he says, standing up. Huh? What, did you want to talk more? His voice is playful as he pushes the chair in. No, that's not what I meant. You stumble over your words as he walks over, holding a hand out to you. You take his hand and Morgan helps you up, his hand ghosting over your lower back as he walks you out of the room. I'm your counselor, remember? He reminds you as he guides you up the stairs and down the hallways. I'm always here if you need to talk. Right. Yeah, I guess you are, you mumble, the carpet pattern suddenly more interesting than looking at Morgan's face. Wait, does that mean I'll be seeing you again? You feel Morgan's eyes on you, his laugh echoing down the hall as the two of you walked. Of course. A silence falls on the two of you, the gears in your head turning. You had a lot of questions, however, when you opened your mouth to ask about something, Morgan had opened the door in the reception area. You look back at him and he simply smiles. See you soon. Yeah, see you soon, Dr. Morgan. He set up a follow-up session with the receptionist before leaving. As he walked to your car, you feel eyes boring into the back of your head. You can't shake the feeling of being watched as you unlock your car and get in. Goosebumps rise along the nape of your neck as you get settled in your car. Paranoia gets the better of you. You check the back seats just in case. Nothing's there. Of course there's nothing there. There's never anything there. You start the engine and begin to drive out of the parking lot. As you pass by the entrance of the office, you spot Morgan smiling at you in the window. He waves as he watches you leave. You quickly look away, focusing on driving. Your grip on the driving wheel makes your knuckles pale. That wasn't so bad, I guess, but I never got the chance to ask what happened to my usual counselor. They're probably dead. Anyway. Ah, I forgot about you. Looks like you're finally awake. I briefly considered removing the gag from the counselor's mouth before backing away. It's truly a shame that you don't carry your office keys with you, good sir. I had to bring SighingSlider to this dingy parking garage I set up last minute. Oh well. Leaning down from the counselor, I tied the plastic bag I held over his head. Well then, it should take a while for you to suffocate to death. Why don't I go over what I learned today while we wait? Taking a seat in the metal chair, I flipped through the notes I took during the counseling session. I can't wait to see you again. Ending 2. See you next time. It's that easy to be a counselor, I guess. Nobody check, who this person is? How did they even get in here? And the original employee is just dead, and gone, and nobody's here to check? I don't know. Anyway, it's just that easy, I guess, to simply, pretend to be someone else and just steal the job, Who are the paychecks going towards, Did he also steal his paychecks or whatever? The original counselor's paychecks? I don't know. Anyway. All right, there you go. I guess that's it for this game. I guess, yeah. I mean, typical, creepy stalker, yandere guy being creepy. Most of the endings actually end up with you alive, though, so that's surprising. Never actually die, I guess, except maybe the one where you freaking, what was that thing called? I forget what it's called. But, the thing that he uses to make you sleep, I guess, to knock you out. Which, as far as I know, it never really works like it is like in the movies. That I forget what it's called, but chemical that knocks people out if you smell it or whatever. It doesn't work like that usually, as far as I know. And in fact, can be dangerous actually. If you inhale too much. But anyway, the only thing I want to say. So, the writing's okay. The art is all right. I do gotta say the eyes for some reason look a little off to me for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not really an artist, so I can't really point out why exactly, but it does look a little off to me for some reason. I think the eyes are the pupils a little bit too close to each other when he's staring, directly at the screen. Maybe I don't know. Usually you don't want characters to, at least as far as I understand. Anyway. Usually when you draw anime characters in particular, you don't want them to be staring literally directly, flatly at the viewer. Usually you want to have them a slight angle, a very slight angle. like looking a little bit to the side. I like or whatever, because if you put them like literally in front of you, it feels a little flat. Anime characters are already flat, I guess, but But anyway, I mean, other than that, I gotta say, there's no music, by the way. Music is on, right? So I guess the developer just didn't put any music, as far as I know. So it's kind of silent. I think there were some sound effects, but they're kind of low, so maybe I gotta boost it in post production, I guess. But yeah, not a lot of sound, which I gotta say is I don't know, feels a little too silent. Yeah, in my opinion. Yeah. Other than that, yeah. I mean, you know, creepy, creepy dude. Just a creepy guy doing creepy things. Um, but there you go. I guess that's everything. That's all for Dr. Morgan's counseling session. You know, and I guess if you're on YouTube, you didn't know I stream these games live on Twitch, so check me out over there if you're interested. I also have other playthroughs on the channel. So take a look at those if you want. I'll probably play. Technically, it's a prequel to this game that's a little bit more expanded actually about this character, so I might check that out. Most likely actually. So probably that'll be next. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching. Until next time. See you then.